present very wonderful speeches. And next up is a goodwill message. This time we'll be receiving a goodwill message from Mr. Tosin Adebayo. He is Program Development Quality and Reporting Coordinator. And he will be speaking to us in just a jiffy. But let's know a little about him. The organization he heads is the #1 peace-building organization, transforming the way we deal with conflict in the country, from preventing violence before it starts to bringing communities, security agencies, women, and youth together. Please, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome Mr. Tosin Adebayo. Thank you.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, organizers of this conference, government representatives, traditional and religious leaders, and members of civil society organizations, and to the Nigerian youths, good afternoon. My name once again is Tosin Adebayo. I work with Search for Common Ground Nigeria. On behalf of Search for Common Ground, I am deeply honored to bring you warm greetings and goodwill as we gather to reflect on a theme of both urgency and hope, which is titled Securing Nigerians' Future by Addressing the Root Causes of the Farmer Herders Conflict Through Inclusive Dialogue. Let me begin by appreciating the organizers of this event and conference for both convening such a timely and urgent matter conference. As we say, it is often said that peace is not merely the absence of conflict, but the presence of justice, equity, and understanding. This platform indeed brings us a step closer to that vision by inviting diverse voices, such as we have heard today, not just to discuss the symptoms of conflict, but its deep-seated causes and root causes, as we have continually emphasized. The farmer herders conflict indeed is one that is most pressing peace and security challenges that we face in Nigeria today. It is not a new conflict, and unfortunately it has been a conflict that, while might have started from the Middle Belt region, we began to see it encroach in other regions of Nigeria, where its impact has been felt enormously. And unfortunately, this has been driven by climate change, population growth, competition over land, water resources, economic pressure, and sometimes fueled by what? Misinformation and also disinformation. Yes, because the conflict is complex and diverse, it cannot be solved by force or policy alone. What requires is exactly what today emphasize when we talk about inclusive dialogues. When farmers and herders come together to talk alongside organizations that focus on peace and security and the governments and security agencies, we can begin to jointly design solutions that not only prevent violence, but also open doors to a shared prosperity. I'm sure some of us might be hearing about Search for Common Ground for the first time. And for others, Search for Common Ground Nigeria is the #1 peace-building organization in the world, which we pride ourselves in. We are one of the largest organizations working in about 30 countries in the world. And we've been in Nigeria since 2004, and we've been in Nigeria for 21 years. About 21 years. We have partnered with communities, governments, security agencies, and also community members to transform conflicts to what we call a common ground approach, building trust, fostering collaboration, and creating breakthroughs for peace. Indeed, Search for Common Ground has been working in the area of the farmer herders conflict for a very long time, since its inception. And indeed, farmer herders conflict remains a core of our intervention and our thematic area of focus. So since 2004, when we started, indeed was quite an interesting run for us. We began supporting dialogue-based responses to communal tensions, including early farmer herders clashes in the Middle Belt region. Fast forward to 2015, with the help of the United States funding from the USAID, we created dialogue platforms in Plateau, Nasarawa, and Kaduna states. In 2017, we expanded our national policy engagement, launching the Forum for Farmer Herders Relations in Nigeria, which continues to inform strategies of resource conflicts. 2020 to 2022, through the EU-supported Comitas projects in Adamawa and Taraba states, we trained mediators, built peace platform, and we launched what we'll talk about our peace architectural platforms, through which we use to detect early signs of conflicts before they escalate to violence, where we give power to the people, to the masses, to determine peace and security for themselves. In 2023 and dates, we have continued to work with the World Bank via various initiatives such as our ACRESL and LPRES projects, building capacities in conflict transformation, in conflict mediation, in conflict sensitivity, in addressing issues of conflict and violence, especially the thematic area which we talk about today, the farmer-herders conflicts. Why, we would ask ourselves, why this matters for Nigerian future? We might ask ourselves that question. Indeed, why does this matter? It matters for what? Nigerian futures hinges on resolving current conflicts, especially what the farmer-herders conflict, which affects agriculture, productivity, livelihood, civil society organizations, and has unfortunately led to trauma issues in young women, girls, and boys in the society. Unfortunately, everyone, including me and you, are affected by the farmer-herders conflict, either directly or indirectly. You might agree with me. I'm sure we've noticed there has been an increase in the cost of food prices in Nigeria, which is also related to the farmer-herders crisis when we talk about issues of livelihood. As we deliberate today, let us remember that dialogue is not a one-off event, but what? A continuous process requiring practice, patience, and trust. And its reward is what? Peaceful coexistence, economic resilience, and what? Stability and sustainability for peace. And you might agree with me that indeed peace is much more cheaper than war and crisis. So as such, for Common Ground Nigeria, we remain to work in this journey with you, the government security actors, the civil society organizations, the traditional leaders, the religious leaders, the Nigerian youths, and our media and the community members and other people. For this reason, I would like to say a big thank you, and may peace guide our collective efforts today. Have a lovely day.
Truly and true, that's a good place to clap. A round of applause for Mr. Tosin Adebayo, all the way from Search for Common Ground, Nigeria. Just to let you know that in a jiffy,